Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. In February 2026, the quiet, rural lanes of Norfolk were shattered by flashing blue lights and the grim faces of police officers. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the man the world once knew as Prince Andrew, Duke of York, was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. It was a jaw-dropping moment. For the first time in modern history, a senior royal was arrested, sending shockwaves from the Sandringham estate, where it all went down, to the very heart of the monarchy in London. King Charles released a blunt statement, declaring that the law must take its course. While the world watched the stunning downfall of a prince, his daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, faced a brutal choice: fade into the background or fight for their place. The scandal that had stalked their father for years was now threatening to wipe them from the royal story completely. As the royal family scrambles to control the damage, the sisters are sending a clear message. They aren't going anywhere. To really get their defiant stance today, you have to rewind to the beginning, to a childhood lived in the shadow of their parents' dramas. From the day they were born, Beatrice and Eugenie had a unique, and let's be honest, often awkward place in the royal family. They were blood princesses, granddaughters of the queen, but they were never destined to be full-time working royals. Their lives were a constant balancing act between public duty and private life, made 1,000 times harder by the scandals that always seemed to follow their parents, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. They grew up seeing their family names splashed across tabloid headlines, a baptism by fire that, for better or worse, prepared them for the hurricane to come. But the storm that finally hit was darker than anything they'd seen before. And it had a name: Jeffrey Epstein. The release of documents tied to the convicted sex offender cast a long, devastating shadow over the House of York. The association was toxic. The reputational black hole that had opened up under their father was starting to pull them in, threatening to swallow their futures whole. For years, Beatrice had reportedly been trying to help her family manage the press fallout. She was advising on the crisis, not creating it. But the crisis was now hitting terminal velocity. The final act of the Yorks' public life began in late 2025. In a move to protect the institution, King Charles stripped Andrew of his remaining titles and, along with Sarah Ferguson, evicted them from Royal Lodge. The 30-room mansion they had called home for decades was gone, a symbolic and physical severing from the family. For the princesses, the loss was personal. They could kiss goodbye to any chance of inheriting the £30 million property, a future they had once taken for granted. Then came the arrest. On February 19, 2026, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor was taken into custody on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The charge was reportedly linked to his time as the UK's special trade envoy, with allegations that he may have shared sensitive government documents with the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. After 11 hours, he was released under investigation, but the damage was irreversible. The York name, once a proud royal dukedom, had become radioactive. Royal expert Hilary Fordwich described the sisters as being caught in the crossfires, facing an impossible choice between loyalty to their parents and their own survival. Sources said they were, understandably, distressed. The family they were born into was now systematically taking apart their father's legacy, and the princesses were trapped in the wreckage. Palace insiders began to whisper that the problem wasn't just Andrew anymore. It was the entire York brand. And for an institution built on image, that's a problem that has to be managed. The York problem created a deep chill that emanated directly from the palace. While no one would say it out loud, the message from the top was clear: distance yourself from the scandal. For Beatrice and Eugenie, this wasn't about losing access to glamorous events. It was the excruciating public humiliation of being caught between their family and the institution they were both a part of. The sisters found themselves in an impossible position. How do you support a father you love when his name is a liability to the monarchy you serve? The taint of the York name was seen as too great a risk for the crown, which was in full self-preservation mode. The sisters suddenly seemed isolated, paying an unexpectedly steep price for a scandal that was never theirs to begin with. The work and the causes they had championed for years were now at risk of being overshadowed, not by anything they had done, but by the actions of their father. Faced with social exile and public humiliation, many would have simply vanished from public life. But this is where the story takes a turn. Instead of disappearing, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie have adopted a stance of quiet, determined defiance. They're refusing to be erased. Their defiance isn't loud or flashy. It's written in the very structure of their lives. Despite rampant speculation, there has been no official word that they have been asked to vacate their grace and favor homes. Eugenie's UK base remains at Ivy Cottage on the grounds of Kensington Palace, while Beatrice has an apartment at St. James's Palace. These aren't just addresses. They're symbolic footholds within the royal establishment, a clear sign that they won't be pushed out completely. But their most powerful act of defiance is constitutional. Beatrice is ninth in the line of succession, and Eugenie is 11th. That's a birthright that can't be changed by their father's fate. More importantly, when King Charles took the throne, Princess Beatrice automatically became a counselor of state. This isn't just a fancy title. It's a critical constitutional role that empowers her to carry out official duties for the monarch if he's ill or abroad. By law, the list of counselors also includes Prince Andrew and Prince Harry, but since neither are working royals, they are not called upon. To ensure there are enough active royals for the job, King Charles had Parliament officially add Princess and Prince Edward to the list. This leaves a small, active pool: Queen Camilla, Prince William, Princess Anne, Prince Edward, and Princess Beatrice. This cements her formal. The story of the York princesses is a complex drama of family loyalty versus institutional survival, and it's far from over. For more deep dives into the royal family's crises, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our library of documentaries. Caught between an institution trying to save itself and a father they won't abandon, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie are walking a tightrope. Some experts speculate they may eventually be edged out, maybe even losing their titles to give the monarchy a clean break. For now, they seem to be keeping a low profile, hoping the storm will pass. Yet, their continued presence in palace homes and Beatrice's vital constitutional role suggest a different strategy, a quiet insistence on their birthright. As the palace walls close in, their silent defiance asks a tough question for the crown. Can you truly erase a scandal without erasing the family caught in its wake? In this generational battle of loyalty versus institution, who will be forced to back down first?